Hello and welcome to Inside the Teacher Studio. My name is Tisha Bender and I am an assistant director and instructor in the Rutgers writing program, and I specialize in online and hybrid course teaching. Inside the Teacher Studio is a program where we interview teachers from around Rutgers University to learn more about the diverse classes offered here at Rutgers, the innovative teaching strategies used in different disciplines and class formats, and the overall process of becoming and growing as a teacher. In this episode, I sat down with photojournalism instructor and professional photographer Nat Clymer. Nat got his start in teaching photography at the age of 12. His goal for the course is to get students to take a deeper look into the planning and production of quality photography. He accomplishes this through projects that test students' creativity, intuition, and personable qualities. Nat gives us an in-depth look into his unique course and his life as a professional photographer. Well, good afternoon, and today we're meeting with Nat Clymer. I'm very delighted to meet with you.
Thank you.
And my first question, I know you're a photographer, but you're also a teacher. So, and since this is the Teacher Studio, I just wanted to ask you, what inspired you to start to teach?
I don't know that there was any one thing that really inspired me to become a teacher. I started teaching photography when I was 12. I was going away to summer camp, and that particular summer that I was 12, the regular photography counselor was unable to get to the camp. So the camp asked me to open and close the darkroom and basically help some of the other campers learn about how to use the darkroom. So
responsibility for a photographer.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I also learned a lot. That's the first time I began to understand the concept of learning by teaching.
Yes.
So.
And did you kind of know explicitly at that tender age that you wanted to continue to teach as well as to be?
No, I had no idea. And I had no idea that I was ever going to become a photographer.
Oh.
It's just something that happened because I was open to it. Mm-hmm. I finished my undergraduate work here at Rutgers in human communication because there no longer was a journalism school. And it just sort of flowed from there.
So your class is specifically called photojournalism.
It is. It's really a photography 101 class. It's what they refer to as a skills class in the journalism media studies department. And my intention for the course is not that they become a photographer or a photojournalist. That takes years and years of work. But I want them to begin to understand how they're being influenced by the images that they see around them that they never think about, but that are still impacting the decisions they're making and the judgments they're making and the opinions they form. So that really is the focus of the course for me.
Oh, that's lovely.
And hopefully they'll also pick up some photographic information as well.
What do you think are some of the challenges of the course itself?
I think a lot of people come in expecting to learn how to push a button. They don't understand that they have to think.
Yes.
So getting students not to do what I refer to as drive-by shootings, to get them to think about what they're doing with each frame, to get them to remove the motor drive from the camera, if you will, so they take individual frames rather than just holding it down, and getting them literally to think about what they're doing.
It's a composition, really,
yeah.
Isn't it? Yes.
It's a lot more than just composition. It's also, it's trying to bring in intuition as well as sort of rigid rules.
Yes.
So you have to. I really try to work with them on trusting their intuition and freeing them of rules after I teach them the rules. So,
Do you think they have to know the rules to be able to break the rules?
yes, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And what about timing? Isn't timing a crucial thing?
In terms of capturing the
Yes.
decisive moment,
Yes.
it is oftentimes, and there's a certain advantage to that now where all of the cameras are automatic and you can just keep pushing the button.
Yes.
But I really want them to think more about what they're doing than trying to capture that moment. Or if they're photographing people, which is what a lot of photojournalism is, to get them to understand how they need to be reacting or acting to get the other people to respond to them.
Yes.
And to react to them.
I see. Is this the kind of assignment you give to ask them to go somewhere and photograph people?
Yeah,
or?
I start out with some simple assignments that hopefully begin to show them the importance and the effect of depth of field, shutter speed, light and shadows in terms of shaping things three-dimensionally. Then they have an assignment to go out and photograph a stranger they do not know who's over 40. And of course, over 40 for them is absolutely ancient.
Yes.
Ancient. And that's the one that I think has the most impact on them, because there are all these other skills that they need to develop in terms of being comfortable around strangers and not thinking that they're using somebody by just taking a picture of them. I try to get the students to understand that there's the reciprocity that has to go on in that process. And if there's no reciprocity, you're going to get nothing.
Right. Are there photos ever in black and white?
They're all black and white. We all see the world mostly in color, and we're greatly influenced by colors, and I'm much more interested in teaching them a simpler approach. I mean, you start bringing color into the situation and it just becomes very complex in terms of how you impact people and how you guide people around in your photograph. So I try to keep it really simple. One of my favorite expressions during class is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Right.
And that's the majority of what we do in class is work on keeping it simpler and simpler and simpler.
Is it all still photography they do, or do they do videos as well?
No, in my class it's all still.
It's all still photography.
And it can be either with a digital camera or with a film camera.
I see.
So either one.
I see.
The main technical criteria is they need to be able to take their camera off automatic and put it into a manual exposure mode.
Right, so that they have to adjust the settings.
Yeah, as much as they hate to think.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So the final, which is very sort of snappy, quick answers. What's your favorite word?
Intuition.
Want to explain why?
I just think that our culture and our society and our educational system remove the natural intuition that we all have as children. And I think it's very, very important to bring it back into your life so that you can really rely on it more.
What is your least favorite word?
Awesome!
Do I even need to ask you why?
Yeah, no, that's a no-brainer.
Okay. What do you think is the most exciting thing about the start of the semester?
It is fun to see the excitement that everybody has at the beginning of the semester, including me.
Great, that's lovely.
So,
what about the least favorite or exciting part at the beginning of the semester or any time?
looking forward to or anticipating I should have gotten an A for that.
Yes. How do you work with students?
I just say I'm sorry. I don't believe so. And this is why.
What are one of the things that you would love to see in the classroom?
A lot of interaction.
Uh-huh.
There tends to be very little interaction in most of the classrooms. And I really enjoy when I have an alternative student in one of my classes, an older student. They have absolutely no qualms about talking and asking questions. And it really lightens the whole class up and brings other people into the conversation as well.
And what do you most dislike seeing in the classroom?
Smartphones.
What's your favorite excuse for lateness if a student is late?
I usually don't even listen to excuses. I'm not testing their creative skills.
Right, in that sense, exactly. If you were able to study anything else in the world, what might that be?
Probably be philosophy.
What might you hate having to study?
Organic chemistry.
And then the final question of all, if you could take a master class with anybody in any discipline, what might you want to take?
It probably would be a philosophy class, and it probably would be with, one of the big guys, Aristotle, Sophocles, one of the old folks.
Well, I think that concludes our interview. So thank you so much, Nat.
You're more than welcome, Tisha.
It's a pleasure talking to you. So interesting.
And a pleasure talking to you as well.
Thank you.